I'm gonna talk a little bit about how to set up my trigger system and how to efficiently use it so it works every time for you. First of all, you got to put the batteries in, and they require AAA batteries that you put in the back panel here. Make sure that this lid is securely closed. Okay, that's very important that it's snug and fits tight. Secondly, you've got to make sure that the dip switches, these little switches right here in the red box, that code matches the code on the transmitter. This is the transmitter and this is the receiver. Okay, this is what you put your flash on right here, and this is what you put on the hot shoe of your camera. Okay, so make sure that those switches match. So if 1 and 2 are on, make sure 1 and 2 are on here. If there's other combinations, make sure that they match. Okay, now what you have to do is turn on the receiver. There's a little switch here on the right, and move that forward. You'll see a little light blink if the batteries are good. It'll just flicker a little bit red. Now to test it, what you have to do is hit the test button on the transmitter and see how they both light up. That means that they're correctly transmitting the signal. If you don't see them both light up, for example, if you don't see the transmitter transmitter lighting up, that means you need a new battery in your transmitter. Now you can download the instructions and it'll tell you what type of battery it uses. I also have a kit where you can get a small screwdriver to take that little screw out and the right battery. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I have a kit too, but you can also find this battery online or at Radio Shack or something like that. Okay, so see that means the battery is working here. This thing will last like years. It'll last forever. It's a long time. So you don't really have to worry about the battery going out on this sucker, but you should at least have a second transmitter, or you can buy an extra battery, and make sure you have that in your bag just in case, for backup, just in case the battery goes out and you're stuck. Okay, so anyways, there you can see again, hit the test button, see that light flicker, that means it's communicating. Another thing is you take your flash, make sure it's securely on the shoe. A lot of times the flash will slip back a tad, and then that won't cause the connection. Another thing with your flash too is that you want to make sure you're in manual mode. On my flash there's an M there, so make sure that that is in manual mode, or else it might not work for you. And then you can test it. Did that flash go off? There you go. I don't think the sync speed is right, so can't really tell. But anyways, that's how you set it up, and that's how you make sure that everything is working correctly. A lot of times when you're shooting and it gets to be a little bit cold, and what happens is the battery power, when it's in cold weather, works a little bit less efficiently. So if your batteries are weak, when the temperature drops, it's not going to create the right signal for you. So you got to make sure you put fresh batteries in there. And so a lot of times how you can realize you need fresh batteries is if you hit the test button and the flash goes off, but then when you trigger it on your camera, for some reason it doesn't fire. That means you got weak batteries. Most of the time, the reason why it will not fire is because of batteries. So make sure you got a couple AAAs in your bag, just in case. And batteries, another thing is this cover needs to be securely in place, and the code has to be correct, and you have to turn it on. It's very important that you turn it on. See how I turned it on and the flash went off? That tells me all things are go. And make sure the shoe is securely on there. And then if all those things are right, you're going to have a lot of success with my system, and it's been compared with a lot of other popular systems, and hands down my system has performed very well, so you can have faith that this is going to work for you. All right, if you have any other questions, you can also send an email to me to info@scottrobertstudio.com. That's info@scottrobertstudio.com. All right, thanks.